Hello everyone! We are making a great recipe again today. Now this is a family recipe. So this one we call Grandma's Bran Muffins because they are Grandma's Bran Muffins. Pretty self-explanatory in the title. And these honestly are Scott's Grandma's Bran Muffins and they are the bomb. So if you are a muffin fan or even want to eat a little bit healthier, these are a wonderful option. They freeze super well. You can keep the batter in the fridge for a while. It won't last you that long, so I can't even tell you how long it will last. But that way you can even bake them fresh every day if you wanted to, okay? So these are a big deal when we have family gatherings, like overnight family gatherings at the lake or whatever, to have these muffins on hand because they are good any time of day. So we are gonna mix these up and I'm gonna show you how it's done. Okay, so first of all, here's the recipe. And I've got it marked that I only make half a recipe because that's what fits in my KitchenAid bowl, which is perfect for us. So that is what I want. That will make 2 dozen. A half recipe will make 2 dozen. So that's what we're shooting for, okay? So we start out with some boiling water and I just boil it in the microwave. So we want a cup of boiling water and this is boiling. I don't know if you can see it steaming or not. And I need to add our bran cereal then. So I have got 1 cup. It used to be called 100% bran. I don't think they make that anymore. I can't find it, but it's the bran sticks, okay? So here's our bran cereal. That's the only reason I keep these on hand for real. Okay, so the bran, 100% bran are the sticks, and we want a cup of the sticks, and we want 2 cups the flakes, okay? Can you see that, the sticks? So I'm gonna measure out a cup of the sticks and it's just gonna mush it up, right? We're adding it to boiling water, so it's basically just gonna mush all these up. So we add the sticks and then we want 2 cups of the flakes. Now for the flakes, any bran cereal will work. I would get one with as low sugar as you can. We don't want like sweetened cereal in here, okay? So I'm pretty sure these are Wheaties. And that's what I use. That's what we have. So 2 cups of that. Now we're just going to like stir that around because we basically want it just to soften that cereal. So we will stir this around. Yeah, and we let this sit. So while we mix up our batter, this just sits and softens, okay? So our batter consists of, we need a fat, of course. This is a Crisco recipe. So we're using vegetable shortening, that's Crisco. So we are wanting a cup for the whole thing. We're only making a half a recipe, so I want a half a cup of Crisco. Now these sticks, if you don't work with the Crisco sticks, I highly recommend you do that because they are wonderful. You know, when I grew up, my mom always used the can, and then you had to scrape all that stuff out of the can and put it in your cup and then move it into the bowl. Alexa, turn off timer. Those are some in the oven right now. So yeah, these are really nice to be able to measure. So for a half a cup, we want, 8 tablespoons, right? Like think of a stick of butter. So we can just count it right off the side and you slice and dice it off, all right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Half a cup. Pretty easy. All right, there's our half cup. All right, so then we are going to cream that. That is the appropriate term. We're gonna cream it with the sugar. Now, I sometimes use stevia. Stevia is twice as sweet as sugar, so you just need to keep that in mind if you're going to use another sweetener, a granulated sweetener that you'd wanna do a conversion. So for our recipe, we're gonna use straight sugar in this one. So 1.5 cups of sugar. That's easy. All right, 1.5 sugar. And then we are just gonna cream that together. And while this starts creaming, I'm gonna go grab those muffins out of the oven. All right, smells good in here, I'll tell you that right now. All right, so that's it. It's just gonna incorporate that together, and then we're gonna add some eggs. So this recipe for our half recipe is gonna be 2 eggs. And again, room temperature is best, so these have been sitting out a little while. I'm gonna take my chances and crack over the bowl. Rebel, that's the rebel in me, I guess. Not too exciting, huh? But you don't want any shells. So if you do have a tendency to break shells, you may want to do that over a separate bowl first. So we're gonna incorporate our eggs. Looking nice. KitchenAid mixers are so wonderful, you guys. They're so wonderful. Okay, so now this is a buttermilk recipe. So this is gonna be 2 cups of buttermilk. Buttermilk you need to shake, okay? So you do need to shake up buttermilk before you use it, and we are going to add 2 cups. I do want a liquid measure for this though. All right, so thick stuff. Now there are substitutions if you don't have buttermilk in your house and you're kind of desperate to try this, or any recipe with buttermilk. You can, I don't know the exact conversion, but you use regular milk and then you add an acid like vinegar or lemon juice. So I have done that in a pinch, but if you can get the real thing, that's always gonna be better. Okay, so we are going to add, again, it calls for a quart, which is 4 cups, so we just need 2 cups. Now I'm gonna alternate, so I'm gonna add a little bit of the liquid first, and then we're gonna add some of our dry ingredients, okay? And kind of incorporate them and alternate them back and forth. So the dry ingredients consist of flour, soda, and salt. So we want a total of 2.5 cups flour. So I will start with 1 cup, okay? Just incorporate that a little bit again. Now muffins, you generally don't have to like beat the crap out of them. You know, sometimes it even says to just incorporate the ingredients enough to where it's blended, and you don't need it like super smooth or anything like that, so don't get wigged out about that, because sometimes the consistency will change, okay? So half a teaspoon of salt is all we need for this. And then we need 2.5 teaspoons of baking soda. And that's our leavening ingredient, so that's gonna help it rise. So 2.5 teaspoons soda. Okay. Now we're gonna add the rest of our buttermilk. And then we're gonna add our cereal. And that's about it, you guys. And then we're just gonna plop them into our pans. And again, these freeze beautifully. And you can even just like reheat them in the microwave right from the freezer. And it works great. Of course, they're super portable because they're muffins. You can make them in the little liners if you want. I don't do that. I just make mine, I just spray the pans. So we're gonna add our last cup or half cup of flour that we needed. Okay, and then we're gonna incorporate our flakes. Now see how these have just softened up, and that's all we wanted to do. And they will incorporate in there now as well. Nice. That's it. Okay, and again, we're just gonna give this a whir. These do not have to be super smooth, so don't get carried away. We're just going to incorporate, I think would be the appropriate word. Ta-da, that's it. That is it. Now I've already got a pan ready to go. Now when I use muffins, when I make muffins, sometimes I think the hardest part is getting the batter in the muffin tins, right? So I do use a scoop. I went to our restaurant supply store in town and just bought a larger cookie scoop, I'm sure is what it was called, something like that. So that's what I use. And that way they are all consistent and they will bake consistently as well. So we've got our tray here, and again, I don't use the liners, but you certainly can. I just sprayed it all with nonstick cooking spray first, and then you have your batter right going. It's really easy that way, and that way again they stay consistent. So I will carry that on later. Now when you bake these, you bake them at about a 400-degree oven. It's gonna make 2 dozen, a half a recipe is gonna make 2 dozen muffins, and you bake them for about 20 or 25 minutes. And when they come out, they look like this. Aren't they nice looking? They're beautiful and they smell good. And then if you are like a butter on muffin person, yeah, look at how nice they come out. Aren't they beautiful? So yeah, they're wonderful. And then you just put butter on the inside of that. Can you see that? They're so beautiful and they taste incredible. They're delicious. Moist and tender. And they come out of the freezer and reheat in the microwave in the same manner. The recipe is really foolproof. Honestly, it's foolproof. So I hope you give these a try, especially if you're having like a brunch or a bridal shower, like a women's event, bridal shower. Any event, I think these work wonderfully for. They're just a nice change up of a sweet muffin. Because you and I both know that when you get a muffin, like in a restaurant, it's cake in a muffin cup. I mean, seriously, they're cupcakes. They're so sugar laden. And again, when you make it yourself, you can control those aspects. So give this a try. Let me know what you think and share some recipes with me. I hope you're enjoying these. I hope that you have something fun on your agenda today, and I hope you have something wonderful on your menu today, all right? Have a great afternoon, you guys.